Aida, for not telling my ex-wife I broke up with my girlfriend. I, 45M, got a call from my ex-wife, 40F, saying she wanted to talk. This is very unusual for us considering we don't communicate unless it has to do with our kids. We have 3 children in their early teen. I reluctantly agreed and was then bombarded with questions. She wanted to know, why didn't I tell her I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, 43F? How come everyone else was informed when it happened and she was just finding out months after that fact? Why have I been letting my ex-girlfriend and her kids live with me and our children if they weren't together anymore? Does this mean she and her husband are allowed to come over and see the children now? By now, she was emotional and crying. She told me I was an asshole for not telling her it happened, as that means this opened up the door for her to be closer to our children. I sighed and told her that this didn't change anything, and my dating life is none of her business. I didn't tell her the first time my girlfriend and I got together either. The only reason I had told her about my girlfriend and her 3 children was because they were moving in. I explained to her I was going to tell her about my breakup when my ex-girlfriend and kids had moved out. She didn't like my girlfriend anyway. So I also didn't want to tell her because I didn't want to hear the "I told you so's." This didn't change anything having to do with our children, so it's none of her business. She then freaks out and calls me an asshole. She says she doesn't give a crap about me and my dating life. She says my girlfriend was the main reason we had so much turmoil in co-parenting. She, my ex-girlfriend, was the reason she, my ex-wife, wasn't allowed at the house. She was the reason my family had to have 2 of each holiday, as she refused to be in the same room as my ex-wife. My ex-wife then tells me, if she would have known we broke up when it happened, then she could have been spending quality time with our children in their home. I told her she knows now so we can move forward in co-parenting our children, then hung up. A little context. I have full custody of our children. My ex-wife had a mental breakdown and was deemed unfit. She still sees them every other weekend. She and her boyfriend, now husband, used to come over the whole day to see the kids. When my girlfriend moved in, she said she didn't feel comfortable with my ex-wife coming over. So we started having shorter outside visits. After that conversation, I went to my parents' house and asked them who told my ex-wife. Expectantly, my mother says she had let it slip, but she also had no idea my ex-wife didn't know, as it's been 4 months since the breakup. Both of my parents think I'm an asshole for not telling my ex-wife. Am I?